Okay, so let's try this. All right, I'm trying to go live on YouTube and TikTok at the same time because, hey, why not? So let's see. All right, so I got that set up, and then it says go live. Okay, so I am attempting to go live on TikTok and YouTube at the same time just because, hey, why not? Um, and I'm going to be answering questions. I don't have a particular topic today, just trying to get used to the whole going live thing. So if you see me looking away, I might be looking at YouTube or looking at TikTok and talking to people that way. So let's just see how this goes. What is that feature? So I told everyone that I would be starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. It is 6:59 p.m. Eastern. So let's see what happens. You know, when you have a song in your head, you just have a song in your head. What can you do? Man, this live really does eat up your battery. On my Okay, so I see I have some people join. Welcome to the live. Hi, Horace. Oh, I don't know how to say hello. It says say hi. So I'm saying hello. Let me know if you can hear me. Let's see. I'm just, uh-uh. Welcome to the. Thank you, Horace. I appreciate it. Thank you. Uh, so I at least know that TikTok can hear me, and I'm waiting because I am streaming live on YouTube and TikTok at the same time, just so that I can kind of get used to it. That's why I said if you see me looking back and forth, I'm trying to look at both screens. Welcome to those who have joined. So I'm here. I'm going to answer questions for you guys today. So just your general questions. This is a safe space. I have a song in my head, so if you see me dancing, just know there's a song in my head. It's Sunday, July 14th, 2024. And by those you now may have seen that we already have had a lot of exciting things happen on Saturday. And then today we had the death of Richard Simmons. If you're in the United States, you may be old enough, like myself, to remember his videos and have watched him. So that's a transition that was interesting, although I expected it a little while ago. So let's talk about the day because, like I said, I don't have a topic. I'm here to answer questions. So if you guys send your questions, I'm going to answer your questions. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. I know you're on your mission, on your walk, and I understand that you taking the time to join my live is a big thing. So I appreciate it. Oh, Did you make up your mind as to whether or not you're going to take the bus or you're going to keep doing the walk? And while Horace has a chance to answer there, let me just mention about the July 14th, because for those of you who don't know, Dr. Freisen here, five element shaman, and there's a lot of different things that I do regarding helping people and just some things that are to make the world a better place. Some things just protecting people. But today, being July 14th, 2024, is actually in numerology a good day for change, right? So the 2024 is the 8. What is this? Invitation to go live together. No, I don't know who this is. Somebody's trying to come in and go live with me. I don't know what that is about. So we're going to say no to that. Um, what is this? Oh, the bus is still an option. Oh yeah. 100 degrees here and where you are, 90 degrees. That's definitely too hot to try to make it. So does that mean you extended your? Sorry about that. Someone's calling me who obviously should be on the live because she knows I'm going live, but she's calling me. So okay, uh, right to view more comments. What is that? Okay, so this is how I can see the comments. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not doing that co-hosting thing with people I don't know. You have to protect your energy. You have to be aware of the different energies that people are presenting, and I'm definitely not with that. But I just wanted to say, from a numerology standpoint, July 14th, 2024. 8 is the year, which is the number of prosperity. Today is the 5, which is the change, the freedom. And we're in the 7th month, which is going within the introspection, right? So if you put that together with what you want to do is break the numbers down for the 3 different energies that you have, and then you want to get the overall energy. So if you say the 8 plus the 7 plus the 14 is the 2 overall. So overall today is a day about relationships and partnerships. If you're lucky, you can take today and look within yourself and learn more about who you are. And by learning more about who you are, you can increase or strengthen the relationship that you have. And in essence, work with someone to increase your finances, your prosperity. Okay. So that's what the day is about overall. Now, that being said, July is always a month for self reflection. It is always a spiritual month, no matter what the year is, because it is the 7th year. So, and you can say this as a it's a 7th month. So, at the 7th month, you can say, hey, I'm going to take a spiritual approach to my money matters. I'm going to increase my money on a spiritual way by doing spiritual things or by starting a spiritual business, something like that, because this money and power goes together. But it's always that 7, and it's always that reflection. It's always about the self. So it's always about what you can do, not necessarily about what someone else can do, which of course most people get kind of caught up in that. Okay. So, okay. So now it's asking me to invite people as a guest. Uh, this is my first live on TikTok, people. That's not going to happen. Okay. So now that we got the numerology out of the way, uh, oh, the guest is the same thing for co hosting. Okay. Thank you. All right. So, yeah, not going to do that. And what about getting, I don't know what, there's a bunch of things at the top. So I don't know what all that is, but all right. Quizzes. Okay. I'm going to ignore the little things that it's asking me to do and things of that nature and just go into the rest of the things because I didn't have a topic that I just wanted to hop on. But since I am here, there's a couple of things that I do want to say. Since early childhood, I have been involved in things with suicide. And I know sometimes I guess you can't say that word on social media, but I have lost a lot of people because of it, because they have decided to no longer be here. But I've also been in situations where um, early on, a guy that I was dating, I broke up with the guy. And then he threatened me and said that he was going to kill himself. And I'm like a kid, right? And I did not take him seriously. And then, lo and behold, he actually tried to take his own life. And I was so confused. I didn't understand why breaking up with someone as a kid would cause them to take such drastic measures. Over the years, when I worked with NAMI and places like that, volunteer for them and working on suicide prevention and education and things of that nature, and talking with different people and going through all the different things about depression, I learned that some people are serious about it and other people say it for attention. It's not good to say it for attention. I've said that is a spirit. It is a spirit that attacks people. And people who really are in thinking about it, they normally don't really tell you directly that, oh, I'm going to do this if you don't do that. They just try it and do it. They might say things like, hey, I can't live without you or whatever. But most people, they don't just be like, oh, I'm going to just, if you don't come back to me, I'm going to do this, right? That's most of the time is someone seeking attention. That's not good because there are people who really do struggle. There are people who really are on the brink. So, what I say for those who are on the brink, every day you have to make a choice. You have to get up and decide, are you going to live today or not? And every day you make that choice in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night. And that's the only way that you get through. Now you got to do other things like heal the stuff that's causing you to feel that way. But that's a choice each and every day. And that's not something for you to hold over someone else. And I say that because recently I had someone say that to me again. Basically, like if I don't do what they want me to do, that's what they're going to do. And I'm like, that's your choice, right? Okay. That's off of that serious topic. But do you like the hair? Look at the hair. Look at the hair doing this little growth thing. I just have to say that because I just got the locks retwisted yesterday. Um, by the way, that's a side note. Okay. Now, let's talk about something else on a spiritual level. There's a lot of people who are undergoing a spiritual awakening and have been for 4, 5, 6, 7 years. And people ask me, well, when am I going to be through with my spiritual awakening? It's different for each person. It's not like you're going to go through a spiritual awakening and at the end of 1 year it's going to be over. It's not like you're going to read one book and you're going to have all the answers. It is a continual process. You're going to be learning and learning and learning, and then you might change the direction that you're going in. You might change to something else. You continue going on the journey until you no longer need to be on that journey. That's what it is about, right? That's what the whole thing of being on a spiritual awakening is all about. It's not going to be like, oh, I did these steps. This book told me to do these steps and now I'm supposed to be good. No, that's not how it works. I'm very fortunate. I've been on a spiritual journey since I was a kid, since I was, because of my family. And here I am in my 50s and I'm still on a spiritual journey. It is my life, right? And for you, for those of you who are new, who just when the whole planet started awakening, now you're like on a spiritual journey. It could be 50 years, it could be 25 years, it could be 2 years. It just depends on your life. And it depends on if you decide to get sucked back into the matrix or not. Because that's the other thing. Some people can't handle the spiritual path, they can't handle the spiritual walk. They can't handle the new abilities that they have, like telepathy or things like that. They can't handle it. So, because they can't handle it, they decide to close themselves off because you can close yourself off. Okay. That's my little spiritual thing. No, not inviting somebody. So now I understand why people be looking down because it sends you these message, all these different messages of what to do. Hey, Horace, will this actually record? So will I be able to look back at it? What? No, I'm not. Nope. Decline. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, who knows? We'll see what happens. If I ever need to record one of them, I'll record it on my computer, on one of my computers. Right now, I'm recording, I'm on my laptop. There's someone from my YouTube page that is supposed to be joining the TikTok. Oh, okay. Okay. So I'm just going to say, Robert, if you are on TikTok, will you put a message or something there? Because I saw your message from YouTube, but I don't know what your TikTok handle is. So I don't, I won't know that it's you joining unless you tell me it's you joining. And I do know that you sent me a request on Facebook, but I don't, if I haven't spoken to someone in years, I don't normally accept Facebook requests unless it's from my clients, because my Facebook is pretty much all about my business and my family. I don't really have just friends on my Facebook account. Everyone that's on my Facebook account is connected to me either through my business, their family, or through work, like the teaching that I did, some of my former students, some of my former clients. So, you know, I didn't accept the Facebook request. Just saying. But if you're on the TikTok, you have to let me know, or because I won't know. Um, I mean, even on the YouTube, you have just some random name. I wouldn't have known it was you unless you had told me your name. When you told me your name, I was like, okay, I do kind of remember you from childhood, but not completely. That was a long time ago. And, I'm kind of still the same as I was then, but also different. I'm that person that, yes, I was to myself then. Yes, I was strange and weird with all the different things that I did, and I still am it that way. It's just that I'm Dr. Freisen now. No, man, they make you have to reject so many people. Well, at least YouTube doesn't have that, all those pop ups like that. So I started the live because I wanted to be able to answer questions for people. Like, they have questions. I wanted to be able to answer the questions and be able to do it live, other than you having to pay. But unfortunately, I'm kind of like caught up in my hair a little bit. Okay, I did get the question about what happened to a certain political candidate. You type 1919. It's that, oh, there it is. It is 1919. Ooh, Renaissance. Renaissance energy. Um, that's 19. Oh, you know what? I'm glad you paid attention to that because I'm not always paying attention to the numbers and as far as the time because it's so low or, you know. But what do you think about the 1919? What does it bring to mind for you? And can I like a comment? Is there a way for me to like a comment? Hmm. What was it for you? Oh, the 1919? Oh, understood. Well, you can look at 1919 in a lot of different ways, right? You can look at, because 19 is a karmic number, which most people who know numerology know that it's actually a karmic number. Because the Renaissance era was filled with people trying to invent things, but sometimes those inventions were failing. So in the karmic energy, it's about, yes, I'm starting something and I'm trying to complete something and it's not working, right? So it can be karmic in one sense. Having the Renaissance and the able to make change is like great, but we kind of forget that other side of it. And most people who look at the 1919 don't look at the individual parts of it. Nine being something for the whole world. So when you're starting something that benefits the entire world with the one energy, it normally actually works better. Most people think of this as a Renaissance energy, I'm going to make some change, and they think about themselves, right? And it doesn't work out so much when they're using that 19 energy. But such is life. So, Horace, how long do you do your lives? How long are you on when you go live? Because I was planning on doing like 30 minutes. I'm trying to do 30 minutes. Not exactly sure. Okay. So just whatever. Depends on who many people are interacting, who's interacting, when, what. But back to what I was going to say about the little political thing that occurred. So I was someone brought it up, right? That there was a political rally yesterday where the former president was shot, something to that effect. And someone asked me, well, hey, is he going to become president again? And I saw someone ask you that very same question, Horace, on your live. And before Obama was elected, many, many years ago, someone asked me, was Obama going to be elected? And I said, this is what I'm going to say now. I said, yes, he's going to be elected. He's going to be elected a second time. And when he does, after that, the United States is going to go down. And it's going to take us twice as long after that to even start to see a recovery, right? So Obama was in office for 8 years. I expect someone like the former president, 45, to be in office for no less than 16 years. And in that 16 years, that energy of taking the US backwards would be in play, right? So, and when I say that energy, it's not necessarily that person, but someone tied to that same type of energy, right? And for the event yesterday that happened, I just feel that that was completely staged. That's all I have to say about the politics because I don't really like to have the political conversation. I like to help people with their growth, their lives, and what they can impact the most. Um, Whether or not people at that level are doing things to get to where they are is not really important. They all do things to get to where they are. Everybody, the current president, the former presidents, they all have dirt. They all have things that they've done to get to those positions. So I don't really go for either one, right? I'm not for any of them. So that's the answer to that question. Oh yeah, he is extremely dramatic. I think that's why people are drawn to him for the dramatics. Right now, I see a lot of what happens on all of the social media platforms, especially that people are interested in drama, right? They want the chaos. And that energy is causing a lot of destruction. When people look at the earth and they see things that are happening with all the heat waves and different things that are happening, no one really stops to say what's causing that. Well, some people do, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't realize that they're feeding into chaos and more chaos is occurring. And dealing with him and his drama definitely is chaos. And that's also why when people ask me, well, why do I attract like a karmic person? Because I get that a lot. I work with a lot of people who are trying to get out of a karmic relationship or toxic relationship or narcissistic relationship that they have in fact put on themselves. And I was like, if you're attracted to drama and you're drawn to drama, you're going to keep having those relationships. And as a country, just by looking at all the reality shows that we have and that we as a country watch, we are going to continue to attract drama at such a high level. So, so does anyone have a question they want me to answer? Most of the time, I get the questions like, "Am I meant to be with my boyfriend or my girlfriend?" People ask me those questions. Where's that? Ugh, things just be popping in all the time. Another thing I get asked a lot about is how do I know how to protect people and how to do things? How do I know so much spiritually? And truthfully, this is started from my grandmothers, both of my grandmothers, when I was a child. They knew that I was gifted and I had these different things, and so I was taught things. My great grandfather was a shaman, and in my family, everyone doesn't get past the information, right? You have to be a certain person, a certain type. Like I was a dreamer, they discovered that at age 3 that I was prophetic. So then they shared information with me, and I went through different things, right? Oh, how is it that most times when people read you, they don't seem to see or acknowledge the death experience? People aren't comfortable with that, right? People aren't comfortable bringing that up. People aren't comfortable with seeing. Sometimes, if they think that you don't want to talk about something, they won't read. They won't bring it up, right? Um, I don't read people without. Let me correct this. I try not to read people without their permission, right? But most people, when they, and the other part is, you also got to know that when someone doesn't have the same gift that you have, or they are not on your level of giftedness, there's things that are blocked in you that they can't see, right? So they're reading you to the best of their ability, but they're not going to be able to see things because remember, you have mentioned it, I think, before, and I know I have, is that there are levels, there are dimensions in spirituality, and there's hierarchy. And when with the hierarchy, there's people who have come to me. I really had someone on YouTube send me a message saying that just said the Lord for me. I didn't even respond because there's no way that a message would come to someone else that hasn't come to me. No way. I've done entirely too much work in my life for a message not to come to me before it comes to someone else. It would always be confirmation. So sometimes when people are reading you, they don't know, right? They don't know. They don't know about a transition that you may have had, or and I know you mentioned something on your, your live. I'm not going to mention it here because that's for you to mention. But some people don't know that, right? They can't pick up on it. And it bothers you that they don't pick up on it. Is it something that you actually want to talk about? And then, well, why don't you just say that? You just want it to be acknowledged. You know, you can be quite intimidating for some people because you have skills that they don't have. You understand that? I know you understand that. Goodness gracious. Don't show. I mean, and if we want to be honest, you're still in a death experience right now. If we just want to be honest. I mean, that's what this whole trip to South Florida is about. So is it too late for the story to be told? It's not too late. And I find that most people have dirt thrown on their name. What is good when it comes to doing some good things? Many people only remember the thing that caused them pain anyway. And so, whatever it was that caused the pain is what they see. So, everything else kind of gets washed away. But it is not too late to tell the story. And yet, he's still here. I'm reading that he's been gifted, taken by a transitional grandmother already, and yet he's still here. I said this to someone. We have to recognize all parts, right? All parts of the self, all parts, even the ones that other people don't like or accept. And we have to be whole in ourselves with those parts. There's another thing to your statement that you say there. He has been gifted, taken by a transition grandmother already. I really honestly feel something differently when I read that statement, other than the fact that a transition grandmother knew about the gift. It also makes me feel that a transition grandmother took advantage of the gift. That statement makes me feel some kind of way. It brings about sadness. So it brings about a deep sadness. And walking in that sadness and sitting with it helps the healing process. When are you going to write a book anyway? Side note. It feels that way if you are surrounded by people who do not understand, then yeah, it would feel that you're the only one who can release him with real true love, which is not exactly the reality. Um, how are you going to release him? I just feel that you haven't. I know I feel this that you haven't healed because the barrier is up, the wall is up, and yeah, you're gifted and everything, but the barrier and the walls create a blockage. The desire to be loved by other people creates a blockage. I saw you say something on your live that it just came back to me about family. You know that family is the family that you create, not just the blood. have to move this over so I can see this other screen. Okay, let's see. Thank you. Someone liked my hair. I appreciate it. I have to move these screens around. I have another screen set up on the other side. So I have to see that. Yes, just saying. Just saying. Yeah. I always love when I get it retwisted. It just makes me feel really good. Because it's tied to the wisdom and tied to the ancestors and tied to my spiritual gifts and tied to the tree of wisdom and knowledge. So I appreciate that. And by the way, I am going to make a review on your book. I'm just waiting. I told you I shipped that out to my nephew. So I'm just waiting to get the picture back of him with the book. And once I get the picture of him with the book, I am going to actually make the review, right? So I want to leave the picture as part of my review. So that's coming. And oh shoot, you know what? Today is Sunday. I need to. Okay, when I finish this, I'm going to send a message because he should at least have it now. Um, all right. So, and I'm proud of you, by the way, because I know, I'm author, you're author, and now this is your second book. So I'm very happy for you. By the way, that's Dr. Jax Carter. Yes, another doctor, another PhD, and she has a book out. And her book is Jax and the Mighty Four, and it's about sign language, right? And I do sign language. I'm hard of hearing. So for my friends who are deaf, hello, talk to me, right? And so her book I purchased for my nephew, and I'm always about helping people and sharing books that are beneficial. Of course, she's an educator, and her books are really, really good. This book that I purchased is a coloring book, by the way, right? So this is a coloring book. So, and it's on Amazon. I don't know where else it is, but it's on Amazon. It is Jax and the Mighty Four. Okay. Jax, the coloring book. All right. And she has lots as well. I had to go to my other screen there to see that. Okay. So, TikTok and YouTube peeps, that's where I'm at. TikTok and YouTube. So you can join the live or share it with someone on one of those platforms. And let's see. Oh, back to TikTok. You know what? Honestly, I know the other that's one part of the reason, but and I know okay, I'm gonna say this. I'm not really trying to say this on live, but I'm gonna say this on live because obviously there's not a lot of people watching. The real reason that this is all happening and you're saying about the walk and everything is that, yeah, you feel unloved, but you feel like if you had a woman or a partner, let me just say that, a partner, that some of this would be resolved. So you're feeling extremely lonely right now. From a spiritual standpoint, you are aware that you're not alone spiritually, but you're feeling lonely even at the same time. And then you're lonely in the physical, right? And you want someone to understand and you want someone to accept you the way you are and accept those other parts of you. And you want to be able to say what happened. You want to be able to bring it out and release it, which is really the way that you will be able to release it is when you're able to talk about it freely, and you haven't been. And this is also why I ask, are you going to write a book? Are you going to put it out there? Are you going to do a live and put it out there? Are you going to allow yourself to be vulnerable on the physical? Okay. Not the spiritual, but the physical. Because most of us who are spiritual, we tend to live in that spiritual up in the ethers. And sometimes we don't come down. And if we don't come down, then other people can't relate to us. So it makes it hard for them. Right. And I understand. Right. I have people who don't want to be themselves around me because they're like, you're so spiritual. And it's like, that doesn't mean I don't walk in the earthly realm with you. Right. And just because I know things about people, they would want to hide stuff from me. So with you, I'm okay. You have to slow down too much. Okay. On the live is good though. I mean, and again, you can get it out there. You can release. You can start to let it out. Be free, right? Um, Now with the advent of AI, you could also speak it and have AI write it for you, right? But yeah, that's what you have to do. Um, I'm sending you. This is a virtual hug, right? That's a virtual hug. I think you need a hug. So that's a virtual hug. Um, Remember, I asked you why going to Miami when you went to Miami. I didn't really think Miami was the place you really was needed to be, but I didn't say that because you know I don't um I don't give things out to people unless they ask, right? I don't say things. I've learned to just let people live. But I never really felt that Miami was a fit for you. I definitely don't know why you're going to Texas, but you said you're going, so I'm going to just watch you go. The walk is a good idea. The spiritual journey is a good idea. The taking time to yourself is a good idea. The fasting from social media is a good idea. I would say a 3 day stretch of no social media, no TikTok, no anything, while you go into an ascended state during this spiritual journey. That's what I would recommend. So, and that can be hard because you're by yourself, right? And so the social media is a way of connecting and a way of not being completely by yourself. So I understand that. I just had a open vision of you, seeing you looking down at the phone and shaking your head. What in the world? I don't know why that is. So that's just the vision I just had. I don't know why you shaking your head at me. Oh, agreeing with me. Oh, okay. I didn't know why you were shaking your head. I just saw you shaking your head. It's like, okay, so you're agreeing with me. All right. Okay. Okay. Well, that's good because um, I'm right most of the time. I like to say I'm right 98% of the time. The 2% I divorced. Ah, that's my little wicked thing. It's telling me when people join, it says to say hello, but I don't know how to say hello. It says say hi. Oh, hey, I did it. I waved at somebody. Oh my gracious. Yay. I waved at somebody who is messaging me. And somebody's messaging me. I said join. You can join on TikTok or you can join on YouTube. So I have this question. This question is, why am I not rich? Look, before you come here, you make a decision on what kind of life you're going to have. And then when you get here, sometimes you say, oh, I want to experience what other people who suffer experience. I want to know what that's like. That's what you did. So just because wealth is in your DNA does not mean you're going to experience it if you have come here and decided you wanted to experience poverty. But if you decide you want to change that, you can. You can change that. You can decide that I've had enough of this poverty lifestyle and you can change your circumstances. Okay. So, and then I will argue, what is rich anyway? What is your definition of rich? That's part of the problem is you're only seeing it from a monetary standpoint. You're only looking at it, and I know, I get it, I get it. You're gonna say again with me, you're looking at it from the standpoint of what's in your bank account, and you're defining your life as being rich or not based on that. Okay, so and don't ask me for lottery numbers. By the way, 777 kept coming up and kept coming up and kept coming up. And what is it with your light being so bright to some? Well, okay. When other people not being your light, I can say so much about this. Your light being so bright to where it makes it to where they can't see, it blinds them and it confuses them, and that they see that with your aura. Honestly, you want to know what I feel? I feel that's a cop out. That's what I feel. I feel it's a cop out. I feel people are saying that when they don't know what else to say. Your light is so bright. No, you might have a brightness around you. You might have an energy that it shines and it lights up a room. You might carry that, but I doubt that's what they're meaning when they see you. They don't know what to think when they see you, and that's why they're saying that. They don't really get you when they're saying that. And so I just now heard there's a particular person. Oh my God, getting too much information here. So a particular person who's saying that to you in a way of flattery, a way of saying that they, let me see how to put this, are into you spiritually because of your light and your energy. They're attracted to it, right? They're attracted to your light and your energy. I just heard that. So, um, and that's up to you as to how you want to interact with a person who's saying that to you. Okay. And we all have various auras, right? We all have light or darkness because I can walk into people and I can see they're completely surrounded in darkness, right? And there's some people who they light up a room, right? But you know, you know that person is, you're not even talking about to some, you're really thinking about a couple of people. I would ask you this. Has a person been around you personally, physically, and said your light is so bright? And then what did they follow it up with? I just had a PlayStation join. So I guess you quite a few spams joining on the lives too. Someone told me that you can block people on the lives. I guess I'll eventually learn how to do that, or I could have a moderator on the lives. So people are coming in and, well, it was a learning experience for me to get to do it. Um, have some conversation, a little bit of conversation, and answer a couple of questions. Somebody liked my YouTube live. Yay. Is that you, Robert? How can you have a person be a secret admirer when they tell you their name? How can you secretly admire me and you tell me your name? How is that? Oh, thank you. That's because you've been doing this a long time, I guess. How long have you been doing it? If anybody does any hateful things, I'm going to have to let them go. Weeks, I'm sure. Yeah, I knew. I knew it was weeks. Do you have a good place to be at tonight? I know you probably, working on mapping out your journey. Uh, that's the other part about that walk. Is having to navigate where to go to prepare for the next place to go. That's how it was when I was homeless. I just think of A1A because I've been up A1A, and I'm gonna be going back up A1A tomorrow. I think maybe not tomorrow, but sometime this week. And yeah, it just seems otherwise. So your readings, because you've done readings for free, are you not charging for your readings at all? I mean, I know you did the paid one, but are you not? I mean, I do see your Cash App available, but are you not charging for the readings? How do you not have a sign set up? So you don't have a sign set up. I'm asking you questions, and then I kind of know the answer. So what was the thing with Miami? People thought you were crazy. What is this? Hmm. Okay, so that must be a little fake person then. Oh, yeah, yeah, the mall incident. But the thing with the mall incident was there was never going to be a way that that was going to be any bigger or any more information than it was. But you didn't go to the Keys, right? You didn't go to the Keys while you were there. Which the Keys are beautiful. Oh, well, you can read without going anywhere. You can read from, hey, my TikTok live had froze up. Okay, it made me verify. Okay, well, now it's 8 o'clock. I have a lot to do because I am going to be traveling tomorrow. And so I'm going to end my live. Thank you for those who joined, liked my live, gave me a thumbs up, sent me a message on either platform. I appreciate it. And oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, it made me do a verification on TikTok. I said, when it froze up, it came up with like a puzzle piece to make sure I was a real person. Um, oh, and thank you because you see, I did the background, Florida girl kind of background. But anyway, so now I'm gonna go prepare because I am hitting the road tomorrow. I will try to do another live. I'm not exactly sure when. I'm not sure which platforms it will be, TikTok and Instagram or TikTok and Facebook. We'll see. But this was the TikTok and YouTube live. Thank you for joining me. If you guys have questions for my next live, you can send it to me, message me, and I'll maybe try to answer them on live. But what I would like for this to be is for people to come on and you talk to me and interact and do it that way. And by the way, to the one person that I know is going to say something, you're going to say something because you're like, look here, Missy. Yes, I can hear you. Look here, Missy. Before you go live again, you need to make sure I can join. You need to make sure I have time. I know that's what you're going to say, right? So before you say that, I'm going to say, I posted with enough time for you to know. I do not have to check your work schedule. So, yes, you can join me on my next one and you can be my moderator. All right. Okay. I'm just saying, because I know that's what you're going to say. Okay. All right, then. But I do love you because you know how we are. So all is well. You could be my moderator on one of these things. As a matter of fact, I think you'd be the perfect person to be my moderator. Okay. So anyway, for everyone else, what's that? All right. So let me end this. That's YouTube. Okay. And